Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Jim Mackenzie here, and I'm asking a question today, whether you've ever found yourself feeling like a ghost in your marriage. And if so, this is a video for you, because you're doing all the things you should be doing at work, home, checking in with family, and yet when you speak, it's like he doesn't hear you. And you may say to yourself, does he even see me anymore or care? Well, I can tell you as a coach and as someone who's sat across from hundreds of women in my years as a divorce lawyer and a coach, this theme of invisibility comes up again and again. The good news is that the problem may not be you or even him. And I'm here to show you today that the way back to connecting starts with reclaiming your voice in a relationship. And so today I'm going to show you how. I want to discuss why invisibility creeps in. And the truth is that most marriages don't break from one single blow, they fade. And for many women, the first sign is that you're feeling emotionally on mute. Okay, everything you say is falling on deaf ears. You ask a question and the answer is a You share a need and get silence, or worse, defensiveness or dismissiveness. Now, the issue is not that you are too needy. It's just really that the emotional labor in the marriage has become one-sided. And many midlife women fall into the role of emotional manager, organizing, soothing, anticipating. And while you're tending to everyone's needs, your own disappear. Over time, resentment, distance, disconnection, and then contempt. And when it gets to that stage, things are not looking good for solving the problems. Now, from my side of the gender line, I can tell you that most men aren't trying to hurt you. They're just unequipped. The wiring is different. They don't see that there's any distance until the damage is done, and they try and repair. Okay, men's brains are wired to just fix, not necessarily to take a step back, but where's a quick fix? Well, the good news that I can share with you to deal with that is that you can show up differently. Starting today, and you don't need to yell, beg, or just say, I've had enough, and you're ready to walk away. There are three strategies I'm going to share with you about this. And the first is to speak without blame and stand without apology. Let's speak without blame, stand without apology. It's simple, but it's not always easy, because when you feel invisible, your instinct may be to shut down or to lash out with resentment. But neither of those, I'm not going to call them methods, but reactions, invites change. The first strategy is to express your experience without blame and without apology. I'm going to give you a couple of examples how to deal with this. Try saying, well, when I share something that's important and I don't get a response, I feel dismissed. And I really do want to feel close again, even though I'm feeling upset. It's not, oh, you never listen, you always react like this. Or you end up apologizing, saying, I'm sorry I'm emotional, but, because when you own your own feeling, okay, even when you perhaps you haven't behaved as you wanted to behave, you're saying it's not his fault. You're just expressing empathy. So let's look at this a different way and try this exercise. Just think of one moment today when you felt invisible, your needs ignored, and try and rewrite that, okay, as an I feel, I need, just like I said above. Practice saying it out loud and calm, no backpedaling, over explaining, or resentment, because over time, this method retrains both of you. You get used to standing in your truth. He gets used to hearing you in a way that builds connection without being blamed or faulted for not being perfect. And that really shuts down conflict. Okay, it's connection, not conflict. The second strategy I want to share with you is to reframe how you engage his male brain. Okay, you're talking to his brain when you talk to him, and most people will not tell you that the male brain, especially when it's stressed out, defaults to fix it or freeze. Okay, it wants, like I said before, to fix the problem quickly, or a lot of men, out of fear, will just freeze. If he doesn't know what to do, he'll just shut down. Okay, so your option here is not to wait to be seen, but to really convey what you need from him, because then he'll respond. Okay, leave the way with clarity. Instead of saying, oh, I wish you would open up, or I wish you wouldn't do that, try a more structured approach. Just ask and say, listen, can we just spare some time, if it's 10 minutes each night, just to share one win and one worry, and it's a clear statement of the rules of engagement. So there's not a fear that, oh, that's going to lead to a big blow up, or there's going to be retribution about what's been done in the past. That's structure, that's guidance, and that's what the male brain is really wired for. Okay, it's the fix, but it's also an emotional fix, and he needs some guidance. So when he makes an effort, even if it's a bit awkward or it falls short of what you're expecting, do acknowledge it, because if you don't, it's just going to feel, well, I'm always failing. Why do I even try? Um, just just look at the conversation and maybe say, well, look, I noticed that you actually paused the TV show when I started talking. And that really mattered to me. It made me feel really special and seen. If you recognize the small wins consistently, it's a coaching exercise that will produce a new emotional rhythm, and that will lead into your marriage. It's good to remember that emotional connection is built over time through small intentional gestures, and it takes practice from you, and it takes practice from him. Okay, you're more likely going to be the emotional leader. He will want to be the quick fixer. You've got to meet in the middle. And then when you meet in the middle, it'll be more natural for you to engage in more meaningful, constructive conversations. Now, let me go into strategy 3, which is kind of leads on, but it's creating micro moments of connection. All right. There's just little bits of progress, little rituals that rebuild safety. I go on a lot about this in my course, because you basically, most people don't have time to sit down, go to a retreat and just try and bash it out and get to a conclusion of whatever the major problems are. The idea of little rituals are to rebuild and create a safe space. It can be very simple with a few of my favorite ones. 10-minute check-in. I mentioned that before. Just sit down, stop, and say, how are you doing? What's going on in your head? You can do that in the morning. You can do that in the evening. It's just an acknowledgement from both of you that you need support and acknowledgement. Secondly, something people miss is they forget to appreciate each other. Gratitude is a great healer. It's a great teacher, and it enables and fosters emotional growth. Just share one specific thing that you appreciate about each other each day. It may be a moment that someone did something really kind or thoughtful, or maybe just generally you're just grateful they're in their life. But everybody needs to hear it. Doesn't matter how tough you think you are. If you don't actually sort of express that, you can't assume that they know. All right. And thirdly, fun, playfulness, a playfulness reboot, I call it. An inside joke, or maybe from a TV show, a silly old shared memory. Laughter is a really good tool for reconnecting. So I'm just going to reiterate here that these are 3 micro habits you can start today. All right, just to remember them. Don't bother winding back. Keep going. Just do a 10-minute check-in. Phones off. No kids. How are you today? Secondly, appreciation habit. Try and end the day with a specific thank you. I think it works better at night than in the morning, actually. Both is ideal. And thirdly, just be silly. Playfulness reboot. Okay. Most men just really want you to be happy, and they don't know how to express it because sometimes they don't know themselves. All right. So I hope you have, picked up some little tips here. Those 3 tips will work for you. Let me know how you get on. And if you like what you hear, do subscribe, because there's lots more coming. Because feeling invisible in your marriage is not a flaw. It's a red flag. It's time to reset, and not necessarily to give up. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't have to leave and walk out the door to get clarity. Just stand in your own voice. Stop apologizing for needing more. It needs a bit of vulnerability. And as a woman, you're more likely going to be the emotional leader. So if what I've spoken about today resonates with you, I would love to support your journey. Okay. I'm a midlife marriage coach for women. I've dealt with hundreds of relationships as a lawyer and a coach, and I'm really dedicated to helping other people rebuild connection. All right. You can download a free guide now. It's brand new, The Emotional Decoder for Wives, at relationshiprebuilt.com. If you're interested in it, do leave a note or comment below, because it's full of scripts and insights that will enable you to speak with clarity and to be heard with heart. Okay. So subscribe here, like this video if it helped, and drop a comment. Okay. Answer this question. What's one thing you need more of in your relationship right now? And just remember, you're allowed to be seen. You're allowed to ask, because everyone deserves to be happy. And I'm here to help you rebuild what matters most to you. Until next time, Keep on going. I'm here. Reach out, and I will see you in the next video.